Yeah, that's what I was reading. I was reading that you have to buy an external tuner to work an amplifier. You get an amplifier that already has one built in. And one that's already built in, and the thing itself is like over $1,000.
Yeah, they're expensive. That stuff's all expensive. I'm getting too old. I can't handle all this expensive stuff. My pay doesn't keep up with this. Oh, we better say it's God.
KO4DDG from Kilo Hotel 7, November Papa.
Yes, so RC.
By the way, the bands are super quiet today. We have some fun activity.
Clear left.
I'm not seeing any activity on my waterfall anywhere.
W7 ASD Lyle shows up there, but I haven't heard from him. Good morning and welcome to the informal portion of the noon time check. This is Kilo Hotel 7, November Papa. My name is Mark. I'm located north of Shelby, Washington.
Golf 7, India Romeo Bravo.
And this is the early portion of the noon time of your emergency priority traffic report. Is there any mobile portable QRP station?
Alpha Juliet 6, Foxtrot Charlie, portable.
Is there no net today, or am I just not hearing anything?
Roger, you got a copy?
I haven't heard anything.
M7RSN, thanks.
Yep, can send it to you.
Is there any mobile units or mobile units in the early portion? Is there any mobile portable QRP stations for the early portion of noontime net?
Alpha Juliet 6, Foxtrot Charlie, portable.
Alpha Juliet 6, Foxtrot Charlie, we got you, Roger?
Roger.
Alpha Juliet 6, Foxtrot, we got you checked in, over.
Roger, Alpha Juliet 6, Foxtrot Charlie, Roger.
Any more mobile portable QRP for the early portion, noontime net?
7 Alpha Sierra Hotel. Anybody copy?
Yellow Golf 7, India Romeo Bravo.
Yeah, 7RSB still copy.
Yeah, I was looking around all up and down the band. I could hear a few stations out there, but they're so weak, you can't understand. They're just way, way down. The band is just plain dead.
Yeah, it says on the internet there's supposed to be a attack from a CME or something.
Yeah, I caught that this morning too on the news. You know, when I logged on to the computer and read the details, but I knew something was going on.
Well, you're Texas N2THD. Are you still there? Send 7RSN.
Yes, I am. Roger, Roger.
I know this is not the place for it, and I won't keep it here, but I was reading your bio. I'm also from Flatbush.
Okay, you're net. Okay, I got you. I used to live near Wilson College.
Oh, Cortelia Road and Flatbush Avenue.
Way down there. He's talking right now, but I can't make him out.
High school, and I used to live on East 34th Street between Glenwood and Farragut.
Now, let's take it up 3KC just for a moment or two, okay?
Sure. And GTHCQ
And 7RSN. And maybe, I don't know, maybe flatlands to the other, but I stayed in pretty much one space, over.
Yeah, it's funny, I was looking on,
All right, nice to make your acquaintance. The name here is Rick, Romeo India Charlie Kilo. I'm in Boulder City, Nevada, and I'll let you get back to 84. We'll see if anything turns up there, okay?
Okay, that's good talking to you. Yeah, I left in 78, and my dad went into business with my uncle. My uncle was originally.
Too much activity from what I can tell. Probably not as much up out in the city as it would be out here in the country where, like Chuck was saying, a lot of the off-road people and stuff that use it. I'm surprised that the guys that use those outlets out in Utah and whatnot don't use GMRS. Maybe they'll start doing it.
Some guys do. A lot of guys use CBs. But honestly, most of the guys I go with have their Bofangs, and they use whatever they want to use. That's kind of what we do. We just pick a frequency in between FRS or whatever and use one of those frequencies.
Okay.
But yeah, Andy, I'm kind of with Craig. I can't even imagine buying a straight GMRS radio. I think I'd just buy a ham radio, and then you got both.
Yeah, except the ham radio is probably going to cost a lot more.
Well, yeah, that I haven't researched. Maybe not. I mean, depends on what you're looking at. But my guess is there's a Chinese-made GMRS/ham radio out there that will do it all. So,
about that
cell phone.
Hey, Paul. Happy New Year. And you know, I've got a radio sitting over here, and it probably works GMRS already. I forgot about it. I don't use it because it sounds so crappy. Not on receive, but on transmit.
Well, in my mobile setup, I sure like having, regular ham frequencies and GMRS. And the nicest thing is, so many times I've just handed somebody a little, cheap FRS or a GMRS radio, and maybe we're just taking a road trip together, and, it's just hand them the radio. They don't have to have a license or anything, and I can still communicate with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got one of these things, TYT or something. It's a clone of the Yaesu 2-meter 440 thing with built-in crossband repeat and all that kind of stuff. But when they shipped it with the wrong microphone, and you just can't buy a microphone that sounds decent on the damn thing. So anyway, I saved it. I didn't get rid of it, but it'll do crossband repeat. But I think that thing is already opened up since it's Chinese manufacturer.
Yeah, probably. And that's the clone of the 8900, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the one. It looks exactly the same as an 8900, but fortunately they didn't clone the microphone, so you can just plug in a Yaesu mic.
Roger. And Happy New Year to you, Craig, out there.
Hey, you too, Jason. Happy New Year's, and hopefully looking forward to a prosperous 2025 here, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Quick question for Craig.
If you want to be, at least try to be closer to the system, make sure you can be transmitted on your own.
Yeah, except it sounds so horrible with the mic that's in it.
Question, go ahead. I thought I heard a station out there with a question. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. The 705, is that modified when you do the...
I'm just looking out there right now. Yeah, you can do the cap mod on the 705, and when you do that, you get you get a really capable radio that does all of the 11 meters plus all of the FRS and GMRS frequencies. I'm just looking on how to do it right now. It looks pretty simple.
Probably does color channels too.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Yeah, it wasn't too hard. It was, I think, just pull a couple of ribbons and flip a board and cover up I don't remember what it was, jump 2 pins or something like that, but not hard. Well, see, that makes it to where it's really hard to get rid of a 705. The damn thing's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, not only that, Jason showed me the video yesterday where it'll decode PSK directly on the screen. It'll actually write out what it's decoding, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of... Remember, Andy, a couple days ago or weeks ago, I was talking about it'd be cool if it was built into radios that you could just kind of send text messages. Well, the 705 pretty much does it. You can, it's not the most polished setup, but you can store a whole bunch of different messages. And, you can have your buddy, hey, at 8 o'clock every night, let's touch base with each other. And you can just sit there and press the buttons and do text just with the radio.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, Craig?
But how do you send the characters, Jason? Is that through the computer or something?
What do you mean characters? You mean just the text?
Yeah, how do you select what text you want to send?
Yeah, that's where it's not the greatest, but I'm firing up my 705 right now. If you basically change your mode to RTTY, so let's see, change mode to RTTY, and then it's shoot, why do I not see it? I'll have to play around with it, but there's all those little buttons come up that you can program different messages, and then you touch them and it sends the message. So, I have one that's like CQ, and then another one that says QSL or whatever.
Okay, cool. I think a better approach would be to hook it up to your iPhone or something and be able to do it that way, right?
Yeah, I haven't looked into all that much. I was just looking at it as like, let's say there was some emergency and, I wanted to have comms with my buddy. I could be like, hey, every night at 8 o'clock, let's, send a message, and you just send one that says, hey, is everything good? Are you okay? And then, if you had to modify your button to say something else, like, you could sit there and type a message that says, please contact me at 8 a.m. tomorrow, 40-meter voice, 255. And then you could send that. So it's kind of cool. I've had really mixed reviews or mixed information on modding the 705. I've seen some videos and stuff where people say it all works, and then I've seen other videos where somebody really starts testing it, and it might only put out 1 watt on a GMRS frequency. So I'm not sure what to believe about the whole Mars cap on the 705.
All right. Well, I'm looking at a site right now, prc77.com, and take a look at it. But maybe we should mod them out in the desert at Quartzfest. That'd be kind of fun to do that. I think they say you need a soldering iron to take out the diode, but you can just clip it, I think, with some pliers, some needle nose pliers. You should be able to clip it surface mounted, but I've done that before in other radios, no problem.
Yeah, I've got these really nice side cutters. one of the probably highest use tools I own off of Amazon. They used to be like $7, but that's all I do. I just fit that thing right on the little diode, and I just freaking cut it and be done with it. But yeah, what I found is there's lots of people that do a mod, and they go, oh, look, it transmits on all these frequencies. But then you got to dig a little deeper and watch people test it with actual power output, right? Because one of the videos I saw, like I said, it was like, oh yeah, it transmits on GMRS, but on certain GMRS it was transmitting at 10 watts, and certain frequencies it was transmitting at 1 watt or half a watt.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I have another radio I use for that. I've got an ICOM radio that I've done a mod on, and it does full 50 watts on those frequencies. So my main thing is just more if I wanted to use a 705 on 11 meters in an emergency, that's where I think I'll get the benefit from.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, we'll do some research and maybe send me some links, and I'll send some links. I'm kind of on the fence. I want to bring my 705 out there, but then there's a part of me that wants to just leave it here and be able to operate it remote. But if we do some modding, I'll bring it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm the same way, but I only have one 705, and it's really good for, taking it to the desert and that, and hooking it up to my little amplifier. So I'll probably take it. And part of the fun of being out in the desert is transmitting out there. Working remote, I could just be sitting at home doing that, right? So I figure I probably just should take my radio with me and have fun out in the desert.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at my 7300 just going, man, I really would like to just sell that 7300 and get another 705. In a way, it seems kind of dumb, but I don't know. That's what I think I want to do. But what's the 7300 now used? It's probably like 750, maybe 800.
Probably. I saw I used 705 for 850 a couple days ago, and it's sold already. But I think 850 for a used 705 is a pretty good deal.
Oh man, yeah. Next time you come across something like that, send it to me. Do you think that one already sold?
Yeah, it already sold. It was on eBay. It's gone.
If the radio is putting out a lower power, like 1 watt or something like that, on the FRS frequencies, but putting out full power or higher power on the actual GMRS frequencies, it's somehow detecting the difference between the two. That's very interesting if that's a fact.
It's like type accepted.
Yeah, that's right, because that is the way it's supposed to be. That's why I was saying run them all narrowband, because those channels are really packed in tight with the FRS ones on all those in between ones.
Yeah, they're definitely getting pretty wound up out here, aren't they?
Yeah, it's sort of background gobbledygook.
think it's pretty good from a distance. I don't think it's a little bit of jammers get squashed in there. I'm getting people like that standing there. You don't think it is funny.
Like a type accepted amplifier that can take that's designed for the exact drive that puts out. That's a low power radio, right?
Yeah, and I don't know exactly what you're asking and what frequencies, but I'm using my 705, going through I've got it plugged into a legal limit amplifier, and then a lot of times I have an amplifier that's just connected to my 705 that does 50 watts. And so I'll run that and my legal limit, so I can do legal limit with the 705.
Okay, so what I'm asking about is like that intermediary to give you enough drive to run legal limit. Do they make a 100-watt version of like that amplifier, or 150 or anything like that, so you could run it like a 100-watt mobile?
Well, ICOM doesn't make anything specifically for the 705 to turn into a 100-watt radio, but you can hook any 100-watt amplifier to it.
How about
RM Italy,
I was going to say,
which is what I use for mine. RM Italy is a low drive amplifier. 10 watts out of my 705 gives me about 250 watts, between 220 and 250 watts, depending on the band. So I used to use that all the time, and I still have that. And I'll probably bring that to court site so I could play around with that amplifier. But it turns your 705 into a 100, 200 watt radio easily, no problem.
Yeah, that's something that used to be 300 watt, and they got it FCC certified. I guess it's 250 now, and I think it has different drive levels, doesn't it, Craig?
Yeah, it's got an attenuator, so you've got, it's got different output. You can have high power, low power, and it's the drive levels from all the way from 1 watt up to, I think, 15 watts a max. So, but you got to be careful. You don't want to hook up a 100-watt radio to it, even on 5 watts, because of the overshoot. It could blow up the amplifier. So it's really made for QRP rigs that put out less than or around 10 watts.
Great. Does that run on 12 volts?
Roger, yeah, 12 volts.
Oh, wow. What's the model number? I'd like to look that up.
DX Engineering sells them. RM Italy, RM space Italy, like the country, and model is 305.
Copy, thanks.
Yeah, they've run that thing, or built that thing for quite a few years now. A friend of mine had one Mobile way before they got it FCC certified.
Well, and if you only want to be 50 or 60 watts and you want to spend the least amount of money, I've got a micro PA50 that I paid probably $165 for, and it works great with the 705 to make it a 50, 60 watt radio. What's the cost on that RM Italy these days, Craig?
Probably like $750. It's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Got that little, was a Hard Rock 50, I think they have a 100 now. Something else.
Hard Rock's a great amplifier for the 705. It's the only amplifier out now, as far as I know, that takes advantage of the Bluetooth bus, data bus on the 705. So you've got wireless cat control via the Bluetooth on the 705.
The 305, HLA 305 is $860 at DX Engineering.
Okay, so it's over $800. Okay, that must have increased the price a bit then.
Wonder what it was yesterday.
I mean, that's one of the things, right? That thing's probably Chinese, so I'm sure it's going to be just a matter of time before the tariffs increase the price of those things.
Hey, Happy New Year from W6KZL.
Happy New Year, Bob.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, Bob.
Fire does not have a tuner, though, right?
Yeah, no tuner.
See, that's where if you really want to take 705 into the field, and then you're thinking about an RM Italy amp. Yeah, you also, might have to think about a tuner, and by the time I look at all that, I'm like, why wouldn't I just carry a 7300 in the field? But that's why I like my 705 with the 50-watt amp that's just attached to the radio, piggyback style, and to me that works great for, in the field.
Yeah. 705 with RM Italy amplifier paired with a screwdriver antenna, that's my purpose there. That's what I'll probably try and figure out how to make that work.
Yeah, that'd be nice too.
How many watts does that one amplifier put out that you were talking about, Craig?
Around 250 max, 250 watts.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
The Hard Rock 50, which is a 100 now, is, what is that, $350?
Yeah, that seems like a good deal.
You got to build it, though.
Well, that's the fun part.
But I wish I had a tuner in it.
Yeah, it's $325.
You can buy tuners for them, too.
Does the tuner go in the amp, or is it separate?
You can buy a tuner board that flips into the case of the amp.
Oh, that's nice. That's where not that I use my tuner much, but it's nice that when I bring my amp that's attached to my 705 in the field, I know I have a tuner there.
Yeah, it's, you can put the ATU inside of it. That's pretty nice.
For me, it's all about wires. Every time I think about adding something or whatever, it's like, oh man, it's more wires.
Greg, I see.
That's another option. Looks pretty good. N6ERP.
No wires with the Bluetooth, right?
Well, if you use the Hard Rock amplifier with the 705, it uses Bluetooth to do tap control and probably push the talk also, or key.
That's pretty nice.
I think, not that any of us probably really do digital modes, but I think the 705, you can just turn it on, it Bluetooth to your computer, and you can sit there and do all the digital stuff with it.
100%, yeah. If you got the right software, you can do the Bluetooth bus, so wireless for everything. Obviously, you got to have an antenna hooked up to it and power, but all the other cables are wireless.
I still think one of the coolest things on the 705 is that at anywhere on the planet, at any point in time, I can pull my phone out of my pocket and listen to my HF radio and even transmit if I want to.
That's a very good ability. Yes, that's a very good ability, KJ6R-MM.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I might be listening to the radio and I'm interested in the conversation and I want to go for a walk around the block. I just put my headphones on, have my phone in my pocket, and I can still listen.
That's what I do every day when I walk my dog.
Craig, have you run that amplifier like on a battery where like if you're parked or camping and your standing voltage is more like a realistic 12 volts?
I've run the amplifier in my truck for a little bit, and that's a lithium battery though. That was like 13 volts, whatever. But I'm sure it's fine. When I had my 12-volt power supply, I've got one of these Chinese 50-amp power supplies, and it's got adjustable voltage, and I accidentally bumped the knob for a while. I didn't even know it was down, and it was down to like 11 volts, I think. 11 volts all the way down, and everything was running fine. I didn't even realize it was low until I looked at it one day, so it was running fine under 11 volts or over.
Yeah, so it just puts out less. That's good information to have. That's hard information to get, especially like on radios. If you ask any of these places, they don't have any knowledge of it. That's why I was commenting about the 857 being a happy camper. Even if your battery runs way down, it doesn't start FMing on you or any relays chattering. Like a TS430, I used to run in my Land Cruiser. If we were camping somewhere, you had to make sure that battery was topped off, because if it saw anything less than a little bit above 12 volts, it would just chatter. It just couldn't operate at that voltage.
Well, The other thing is, if your power supply was set at 11 volts, when you were transmitting, it was probably dipping into the low 10s.
Probably, and my output on the amp is probably lower too. I didn't really at that time I didn't have any type of external watt meter, so I had no idea what my amp was doing. But now I do these days. So, but honestly, that amplifier right now is just sitting on the shelf here. It's not hooked up to anything. I don't use it anymore. But I'm gonna bring it out for a Quartz Fest. I'm gonna try and make it mobile, so I'll have a mobile setup running 250 watts.
Yeah, I can also, I've got an Elecraft 500 watt amp here, and I can plug my 705 right into that and do about, I think it's like 350 watts just with the 705 plugged into power.
And that's perfect, right? And then you have an inverter, right? You can plug the Elecraft into the power, right?
Yep.
When is that going to happen, Craig?
Quartz Fest, it's right around, the way I remember it, it's right around Inauguration Day, so around January 20th.
RM Italy still makes the venerable HLA 300V, which is the non-FCC certified version of the one that you have, Craig. Got the fans and everything, and I think it's got all kinds of different variable attenuator inputs, so. They still make that. It's only $535.
Where do you buy that from?
I don't know. I was looking at the RM Italy store, so I don't know where you'd get it. I'm just saying they still make the old one, and I didn't know if they did or not. I've known people that have had it. That, like any other stuff, you really don't want to run it anywhere near their power output because they get dirty really fast, according to WHJI, if you can believe him. But yeah, that's like $300 less. It does have filtering, switches, bands, manual or automatic band switching. It's got filters in it and everything. That seems like a pretty good deal. Get one of those instead of running it at, I think they claim 280 watts, running it at about 150, and you ought to be clean as a whistle and have a nice signal.
Yeah, you can. rmitaly.us, you can buy that in the U.S. That's interesting. Sounds like a better deal, huh?
Much better. And it's basically the same thing as the one that's certified.
This is kind of crazy. I was reading about the Hard Rock 50, and it says easily powered by a 50-volt, 4-amp DC power supply.
Yeah, Hard Rock 50, exactly. It's the same, the LD MOS, right? So it takes the same 50 volt or 48 to 50 whatever volt power source.
But I guess what I'm getting at is I don't want to have that amp if I have to go find a 50-volt power supply to run it. That 50-volt power supply is not in the amp, is it?
I thought that amplifier was 12 volts.
I know, I did too, and that's why I'm confused. It says easily powered by a 50-volt, 4-amp DC power supply. That tells me that you got to supply it with 50 volts.
That's what it sounds like to me too.
No, I've got a buddy who built one of those. Two guys I know that built them, and they, as far as I know, it's 12 volts. Maybe it's just an option if you want to use 53 volts.
I mean, it could just be that they're basically saying that it's, running off of 50 volts and there's a 12 volt to 50 volt converter, in the box, but they don't really make it clear. And I'm looking, I think I'm on Hobby PCB website, which I think is the manufacturer, but it actually doesn't say 12 volt anywhere. But I agree with you. It probably is 12 volts. It's just weird the way they've got it written out here.
Greg, the other question I had is, I see it's got an auto position. I'm back to the original first amplifier. how does it, I don't see any other connectivity. What does the auto do? How does it detect where you're talking?
Yeah, so it's got a different mode. It's got auto. It'll do RF sense to figure out the band. That's what auto does. Or if you want to, you can physically tell it to filter a certain band. So you can select the band you want to use. And for PTT, it's got a PTT cable you can hook up to your radio like any other amp, or you can have it set to RF sense. So that's like an old 11-meter amp where it'll do PTT automatically when it detects RF coming in through the input.
They thought of all the angles. Oh, very cool.
I was reading about the Hard Rock here, and that Bluetooth interface box for the 705, Craig, it says they've updated that now so that it actually just, the ICOM 705 thinks that the ICOM tuner is connected. So you've got, basically a tuner and an amp, and the 705 just thinks it's all native ICOM stuff.
Oh, that's slick, man. That's a cool amp. I'm looking here in the specs on that Hobby PCB, and it says DC power. It says 13.8 volt DC, 10 amps for the DC power for that amp.
Where is that, though? I don't see it. You're on the Hobby PCB?
hobbypcb.com/products/hardrock-50-HF-power-amp-kit under specifications.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I might have to get on the computer to look at that, but I don't even see where it says specifications.
Just scroll down a little bit, you'll see it.
Well, they also have a KX3 to Hard Rock 50 interface. $30, that's reasonable. I kind of like the idea of
IC705 Hard Rock interface is only $60. That's a little Bluetooth box. That's a pretty good deal.
I double with you, sorry.
I'm saying that IC705 Hard Rock interface is only $60, which has a Bluetooth interface. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. I would order that. I'd order the amp, and then I would see if there's any way I could cram the guts of the Bluetooth box into the amp box.
Yeah. It's just that that actual kit though requires you to wind some coils and a bunch of stuff, man. So it's a bunch of it's not like a simple, easy, plug and play. You kind of actually have to know what you're doing to build that amp.
Oh, okay. It's not like Elecraft stuff where anybody can do it.
No, I mean, if you, for me, I wouldn't want to take on that project. I don't have the experience. I could probably do it, but it'd probably take me forever. But you gotta wind the toroids and everything. And yeah, my buddy did it, and he said it took a lot of effort, and he's pretty competent. It took him a while to get everything right.
Yeah, I got it.
That's just to find one used and buy it. They sell them every year, and you come across them once in a while.
Oh shoot, that's which radio isn't it? Hear what you said. Where do you find them used?
You can find them used on QRZ or some other sites. I mean, it's something that you come across once in a while. Not too often, because people that have them like to keep them. Do you know that they have a Hard Rock 500 as well now for $1,200? That is a pretty good deal, man. I had no idea that they made that. That will compete with the Mercury amplifier, most likely.
Is it a kit also?
think it looks like it, yeah.
Interesting. Well, I'm on my 705 now with just a small little amp back, so.
Yeah, you're S9. I didn't really notice any difference. I wasn't even looking at my meter.
Roger.
Have you guys tried the RM Italy amp?
Yeah, I have one of those.
That's good for mobile too, portable.
Where did you see the Hard Rock 1200? Was it on the Hobby PCB or somewhere else?
Hobby PCB under products. There's a HF radio, and there's a 500 Hard Rock 500 power amplifier support kit. So it sounds like you got to buy. They can't legally sell this amplifier that has more than 15 dB of gain. So they split it up. There's like 2 kits, I guess you got to buy, but it looks pretty slick, man. It's got a couple of antenna ports, and yeah, it takes 10 watts and puts out 500.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures. I like the back of that. That looks nice.
Yep, that's the latest one they got.
Of course, everything's sold out.
As usual. Well, you might, if they get a phone number, you might call them. They might, you know, sometimes they don't update these sites, you know. Not right away.
Oh, it says that this product is now sold out and has been discontinued. They don't make it anymore.
All the good stuff never lasts long. Morning. Happy New Year, everyone. W6K.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Max.
You know what I'm using is the, well, you guys probably know the ICOM QKL. It's an older amp, but it matches right well with the 705. Puts out 300 watts with 10 in.
That's perfect, man. Does it have cat control?
Yeah, it should, let me, wait, no, it doesn't, no, it's too old. Oh, but it does have, tuner, separate tuner, it's automatic. Actually, the radios, the amplifiers is, manual until you put the tuner on there. It's like I can use on the band switch I can use 75 on 40. It kind of like transitions over because it's an automatic amplifier. So I don't have to switch between those 2 bands, but the rest I have to.
Craig, one of these days when you get your 705 on and messing around with it, we should try that PSK thing.
Yeah, and I wonder if that software we have for our phones, whatever it's called, I wonder if that can do PSK.
I don't know. I need to look at that because that's what would be really cool is to, like, let's say at night we couldn't talk on 40, but you could, you know, do PSK. If you could type messages on your phone and then it goes out to the 705, that'd be super cool. But worst case scenario, just program one of your keys that says, you know, I copy K4NEW with your call or something, and then we just press the buttons to see if it works or not.
Yeah, copy. Yep.
KJ6RMM here, Dave, San Diego. What is the native digital mode that the 705 can do? Can it actually transmit RTTY natively without any external software?
Yes.
That's great. And any other digital modes, or would that require software?
Yeah, it does digital voice.
Oh, yeah, DMR, you mean?
No, sir. Digital voice, D-Star.
Oh, okay, D-Star, all right. Thanks.
Yep.
It also works in terminal mode.
It does FT8 on that app as well. I didn't know that. I'm looking at his website now. FT8 with your iPhone, you can do on the 705, no computer. See if it does ready. Here, give me 1 sec.
You're talking about the Marcus software, right?
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, the other one we need to look at is there's an ICOM app you can put on your phone. I think that one you can actually take a picture with your phone, wirelessly connect to your 705 and send a picture over HF.
Yeah, it's got basically. Yeah, interesting. It does. The biggest thing though is it does FT8 with your iPhone, which is pretty cool. You don't have to have any computer or anything. It does everything over Bluetooth or the network, right? FT8 anywhere in the world you can do FT8 on your iPhone, hooked up to your 705. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not really into FT8, but it is neat how the way it does it. And then it shows you the globe, and you can rotate the planet all around, and you can see all of the different hops and stations that you've talked to. It's kind of cool.
That's what I was saying, the new Yaesu, I don't think it'll do any, FT8. We'll have to see when they get it out here, because this ICOM, man, it's got so many features. I haven't even studied all of it. It's quite a bit.
Well, I'm sure the Yaesu will do FT8. It's just it might not do it with an iPhone or iPad app. You might have to hook it to a computer.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see when it comes out.
I think
it's got the app's got a built-in CW decoder and keyer, so that's interesting.
It's somewhat of a private means of communication because not very many people even know what's going on when they see that signal.
Yeah, what was that, Craig?
Yeah, double digits. I was saying that the app also allows you to do an integrated CW decoder and keyer, so you can do CW right on your iPhone.
You probably can do it on the Android too. I've got an Android here, but I have to check that. That's cool.
Oscar Echo Bravo QRP.
QRP station, go ahead.
Whiskey Bravo 6 Oscar Echo Bravo. We're running solar power, only about 5 watts. Wonder how we sound over.
It's kind of up and down, but you're anywhere between a S4 and S7, and I'm about 35 miles east of Quartzsite. Where are you located?
Quartzsite? Where's that at?
Quartzsite is east of Blythe and west of Buckeye.
Arizona.
What state?
Arizona.
Okay, I'm about 40 miles east of Los Angeles, and I got an inverted V here up about 50 feet. Just wonder, how is the audio?
It sounds fine. Your signal's anywhere from like a S8 all the way down to an S2, so it's kind of hard for me to hear the audio. Can you hear him better than me, Craig?
Yeah, I got you on S9 into San Diego. I'm about 10 miles east of La Jolla.
Likewise into Anaheim. I'm curious what kind of radio he's running, K6KWI.
Yeah, we have a
ICOM 705 and the call is K4 New.
991, but it's on solar power right now, battery operated. And thank you very much, guys. The last 2 stations were S9 here, so one in San Diego is S9. And Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you for letting me check in. The name here is George, located in Glendora, 20 miles east of LA. WB6 over, 11 babies, QRP.
Hey, George, K6KWI here. What kind of radio are you running?
I just said an FT991.
Oh, okay. You've turned the power down. All right, man. You're sounding good in Anaheim. 7-3, buddy.
Yeah, it's a Yaesu FT991. We're having our, we have a Flex 6400M, and we had to send it in. All of a sudden, I got no transmit on my Flex radio, and it cost like $200 like the SDR. There's no SDR with this Yaesu. Thank you. WB6 Oscar Echo Bravo clear.
Yeah, Glendora, out there on my old stomping grounds there. 76KG.
W68.
KC6CHD.
Hey, morning, Andy. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, Mac. I've been here just listening. Don't have a 705, so didn't have anything to add.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is a great radio, man. These guys, Jason and Craig, man, they run the gamut. They're still hunting. They're finding stuff all the time.
Craig, you still out here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, on the iPhone Marcus app, SDR control, did you go look at that? Did you click the D-Star tab? We can send messages right there through our phone, through our ham radio. Did you see that?
Yeah, I know that D-Star's got two. It's got a sub channel or whatever, a data channel. So you can be talking and at the same time send a data stream. So it's pretty cool. D-Star supports that.
We should try that. I want to try this sometime when you turn on your 705. I want to try sending this message.
All right, yeah, we can do it later on. I'll have to turn it on and everything, but sure, we can see if that works.
KJ6RMM. Now, is that D-Star, can it be used something along the lines of Echolink, where with Echolink software on smartphones, you can communicate with ham call signs, but you're only using the telephone. Your ham radio could be at home or in the store, not yet bought or whatever. But Echolink supports communication via telephone, smartphones, and by themselves.
Yeah, but you're using the internet, obviously, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, my little bit question is, do you think the D-Star, this other ability of the 705 can use communication without a radio? What were you saying there?
Oh, well, that's a loaded question, but typically D-Star is RF, so what we're talking about is we're talking about doing D-Star over HF, so it's no internet involved, just straight D-Star over HF, Zerla.
All right, thank you. That's clear. Thank you very much.
Hey, Craig, K6JR.
Hey, good morning.
Howdy. Do you know 3.8 is out?
3.8. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to see what the additions are. 2.10.3.7. 2.10.3.8, huh?
Affirmative, yeah. It's a final release, so it's not a beta.
All right, I'll have to check it out, see what features are in that, and take a look-see. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, sure. Happy New Year to one and all out there, K6JR.
All right, JR, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for the heads up. Is there any features in that latest release that caught your eye, or is it just bug fixes?
Pretty much bug fixes. Most of the 3.7 stuff is the same. It's just they've made everything work.
Okay, cool. I love the new filter window, man. It's pretty cool how you can zoom in on a signal, have a window that's constantly just zoomed in on your pan adapter. I'm using it right now. That's probably the best feature he's added to Thetis in a long time, so I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, the little tuning dial is kind of a kick, too.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's more of a cool thing if you have like a touch screen or something, huh? That'd be cool if you had a touch screen computer or whatever, you know?
Oh, man, you're going to get fingers all over your screen.
You got to use a stylus, but then that kind of defeats the purpose, right?
There you go. Okay, my friend. Have a good day. 7-3 to 1 all out there. K6JR.
All right, JR. Happy New Year, man. Thanks for jumping in there. Sounding good. N6MUD, San Diego.
Have you guys sent pictures back and forth yet? I know there's a site on the internet The space station, then you could download the picture onto your 705. Have you guys done that yet?
I've done that through the reflector. A certain D-star reflector is a picture reflector. I've done that before.
Yeah, it's a pretty good picture. All right. Yeah, I really like this remote, though. I could use my Android phone, and man, I could, be here on the property and turn the volume up and down, change frequency, memories. Oh man, this thing it's the bomb. Bluetooth.
Yeah, that's the capability. Took more inventiveness a year or two ago. KJ6R and MM.
Copy. Please execution. I wonder if their next radio, like the 7310 or something like that, it's going to come out with all these features that we have on the 705. That would be a hell of a radio.
Well, Max, on your radio that they showed at the Japanese ham convention, whatever that number is, that's the next one, right? And I think that's got everything that the 705 has, plus probably some more.
Oh, is it 7760?
I think that's the model number, right?
Yeah, the latest, yeah.
But that's what, $4,000, right?
You're looking more like 5.5.
Jesus.
I see it on
one site selling for
Gigapark, 6,300.
That's what I was saying. We doubled, but yeah, 6,300. I saw telling Craig there. I saw another site, 6,300.
Yeah, they're 6,300. The early people got them in for a $59.99.
Well, I guess I don't know enough about the radio, but I'd rather have a 705 and a freaking amplifier.
That's why I got this one like that. Yeah, set up. Yeah, a lot cheaper and pretty much does everything the same. Except one thing it doesn't have is the 200 watts. Out of the box.
So little.
You could buy a 705 and an RF kit amplifier and come out ahead, right?
Oh, well, not only that, you actually gain something, because if you bought just a 7760, you don't have a field radio. If you bought a 705 with an amp for your shack, now you've got an awesome field radio and an awesome base radio.
I think they're going backwards. It's a little control head you sit on your desk, and then you got to find a place for this big box. And you can run it remotely, but you have to have a LAN cable to it, and among other things, and you just can't put it up in your attic and control it by Bluetooth or something. They really fell on their face with it, I think. But we'll see.
Well, you can. Let's see. You could buy a Mercury amp and a 705 brand new for what would that be? We'll call it 1,300 plus what's a Mercury amp now?
31. What are they? 3099, 3100.
Okay. Well, I guess it's really not price-wise. It isn't that much of a difference, but I'd still rather have a 705 and an amplifier versus that crazy freaking 7760.
I'd rather have an FTDX 101, the best radio on the market today, and a Mercury 3 amplifier, same price.
Well, one thing we did figure out, though, that cable, that separation, the cable that goes in between the head unit and the RF deck is a Cat 5 cable. So if you wanted to, you could make that remote. So you could actually make it remotable, even though ICOM says it doesn't work, which is crap. If you have the right equipment, you could do what you said there, Andy, is have your RF deck up in the attic and then control it from downstairs or whatever. But, at what cost? Is it worth it? I don't think so. You can do that for a lot of radios for a lot cheaper.
Well,
ICOM says you can't because of the latency, but I'll wait until somebody tries it.
Well, I think
if you're doing it in your home network, then sure, with your own WANG, it is very little latency. If you're your LAN, if you're trying to do it across the internet, then yeah, it's not going to work.
But I think I double with you, Craig. I think worst case scenario, you put a box on both sides of the twisted pair to just up the signal, because that's what would happen. Is if they probably didn't engineer it to have the head that far away, so it just loses signal. But if you put some boosters on both sides, I bet it would work.
Yeah, there's only a few of them out, and that's all. All of them are over in Europe. I guess they're not due to be distributed in this country till maybe later this month at the earliest.
But the remote head on that 7760 is bigger than a 705, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And does it have true dual VFOs?
Yeah. It's got two receivers. Better have for that price. You're right about that.
But it doesn't do D-Star, doesn't do UHF, VHF, right?
As far as I know, no.
Yeah. It's just basically for DX and ragchew, you know. That's what it's really set up for. Crossband and stuff like that.
It does crossband?
No, I mean cross with the two, you know, separate, like you know, want to work satellite stuff like that.
No, it doesn't do UHF or VHF.
No. What I meant was just saying that it does that type of, you know, cross mode with it.
You can have one receiver on 20 and one on 40.
Yeah, there you go.
HF crossband.
Well, like I said, right now we're just speculating on all this stuff. We have to see what you know, everything that comes out on it, because like Craig was saying, it probably has what the 705. For that price, I don't see why it shouldn't.
No, I know what some of the specs are, and I'm a member of the 7760 group, and so far it seems to be working out, except for a couple people that had early models. One of them was serial number 13, and he had nothing but problems with it. He traded it in and he got another one.
Oh, wow. Well, how's he like the second one? Have you talked to him?
No, I monitor the group, and he's doing fine with the second one. So, it's all up in the air about it. You know, they've just been out now for maybe a week in Europe.
Copy.
Yeah, I know Reinhardt and RF Power, they're looking at cracking that proprietary digital predistortion that ICOM does with their proprietary PW amplifiers, and they're looking at that radio and obviously the 7610 to try and make it so that you can do DPT against any amplifier, but in particular the RF2KS. So that should be interesting. You know, I mean, pretty stupid of ICOM to make all that proprietary. It seems to me that people would be more open to, you know, hooking that up to a regular amplifier and having predistortion.
Yep. In fact, on the group's IO he had, I think you remember that group too. That's what he said. That's his number one priority right now.
November 6 uniform, Zebra Sierra. November 6 uniform, Zebra Sierra.
10-6 UZS, go ahead. If you can't hear me.
I mean, if they can figure out how to do that, then they're not going to be selling a lot more RF kit or RF power amplifiers, because who wants to shell out, you know, what is it, like $6,000+ for the PW2?
Yeah, I think it's 5. That's ICOM for you, though. They like to have their proprietary stuff. I think they shot themselves in the foot by doing that, and they shot themselves in the foot by not actually coming out with just adaptive predistortion instead of going halfway.
And the PW2 is only a kilowatt, right? Because that's as much as they can run in Japan.
That's correct.
It would be nice if Yaesu came up with that.
I think the Next GAC radios will have adaptive pre-distortion. I'm saying it here and predicting it. The next generation, not this generation, of course, but the next generation.
Well, there hasn't been any word from Yaesu on it, right? I mean, all these other manufacturers, Kenwood and ICOM and Flex, have all been talking about it, but not a peep from Yaesu.
Nope. Yaesu is more tight-lipped than any of them. As usual, that's not anything new for Yaesu. I mean, when the 710 came out, it hit everybody in the face. Because nobody had a clue Yaesu was coming out with a direct sampling SDR radio. I really do believe that they can see the writing on the wall, and the next generation's going to have it. Especially since AROL and FCC are pushing this clear spectrum initiative. Try to get manufacturers to clean up their transmitters.
And Andy, also clean up the receives to better utilize the spectrum.
Well, they got great receivers, but nobody spent a lot of time on transmitters.
Well, Andy, as Dave in San Diego, I was reading some that FCC noticed about spectrum utilization, about a year old at least, and to me, they said in there that already manufacturers have fine-tuned their transmitters to better use the spectrum, but now it's time for manufacturers to emphasize cleaning up the receive capability to better utilize the spectrum. That's what I got out of it.
Well, I don't know what they want them to do. The receivers are excellent now. They've never been better. I don't know.
It's the opposite. They need to clean up their transmitters.
Yeah, I don't know what the FCC says means about receivers. Receiver can only receive what it receives, and yeah, they're great now. They're far better than they've ever been, and where they're lagging is the transmitters are still dirty. When you're talking about third order IMD only 30 dB down, that's not acceptable. At least it shouldn't be.
Yes, well, thanks, Andy. I remember reading that, and it's been over a year now, I think, when that notice came out, and I can find it eventually, but I'm pretty sure I remember them putting their big emphasis on getting manufacturers to improve upon the receive in order to better utilize the spectrum, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I don't know what they mean by that.
Well, I'll have to go back and read it, and then I can quote you a little bit about page number and the FCC notice number and page number, and you can see it there.
Yeah, appreciate it if you looked at it again. Because I just can't imagine what they want the people to do about receivers. There's no problem with receivers. I mean, they're great.
They probably want they're probably wanting the manufacturers to come up with a magic bullet to deal with all the noise that the FCC is allowed to creep in all the bands.
I think it's something like that, yes.
Well, that would be nice. I mean, I'd love it when whoever turns on this air conditioning motor or whatever the hell it is that comes on and puts just a complete raucous S7 to S8 noise on my scope. And in my ears, and the noise blanker doesn't touch it, and even the digital noise blanker only takes the edge off of it. It's so endemic.
Well, I think that's the new nut they want to crack is noise, complex noise. You know, of course, pulse noise is pretty much dealt with, but complex noise is a pain. KN6SD, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yep, Happy New Year, and that's exactly what this noise is that I have. You can actually see the waveforms change in the noise. It's very complex.
Well, I think at some point we're going to have a ham radio with AI in it, and it's going to just recognize, it's going to have a 20 millisecond delay, and it's going to pull out human voice and get rid of everything else.
Either that, or when the jammer comes on, it's going to say, you can't jam, and turn the radio off.
Thetis already does that, Jason. Thetis has got a concept called NR2, Noise Reduction 2, that uses AI to detect voice. And when people are not talking, there's no background noise. It's just like you're on FM.
Yeah. Also a box that just, whenever a jammer plays his recording, it basically memorizes that, and then, really fast before you even hear it, it just blanks it out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how far. It's almost like you need to train your radio, right? So you basically have it learn what the jammer sounds like, and it'll remember that. And whenever it hears that signature, it won't let it through. It'll ignore it.
Yeah, you just have a button on your radio, and as soon as the recording is played, you hit that button, and then it's always listening and recording. So even if you hit the button halfway through the recording, it goes, okay, this recording right here, this waveform now gets blinked out.
Yeah, it's called a lid filter.
The comment out.
Comment. The comment doesn't even have a license, so I'm not listening to him.
January 20th.
Actually, I do. KN6SD, Sacramento.
Yeah, no listen, no talkie.
Roger, copy.
January 20th.
No license, no talkie for you.
Well, unless you guys are talking about somebody else, I'm not hearing.
Yeah, somebody else.
Oh, yes. No, unlicensed station.
January.
Yep.
There seems to be getting to be quite a bit of those down here. It's surprising.
There's his antenna.
Yeah, January 20th, we'll be on the desert. They're having fun, not listening to jammers on the radio.
Trump will be the president.
Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, guys, take care. 7-3 KN6SD.
7-3.
Happy New Year, 7-3.
Trump will be a president. January 20th.
Anyway, good stuff this morning.
All the local liberals can cry.
I can't even understand what you're saying, but that's probably a good thing.
It is.
Yeah, I hear them, though.